Welcome to the Untitled Film Project Podcast. Today, we have a very special guest. She's a world record holder. She is the pride of UTC, University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, and all of us in the United States. She is the weightlifting gold medalist from the 2024 Games. Olivia Reeves joins us. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Now, before we get any further into this, I have to ask one question.
He was talking about this on the way down.
I'm so excited. So you know. Did you try the chocolate muffin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and wondered how many I can bring home.
See, based on that reaction, this is going to be amazing. So, like, did you sneak them to other people? What was that like? It was all for you?
None of that for me. I will say they were served at all three meals.
Wow.
And it's called a chocolate muffin, but it's more like chocolate cake.
Oh,
okay.
And a muffin, like a cupcake, essentially, with icing in the middle.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
Yeah, I don't think I'll have anything like that.
There's so many copycat recipes now on the internet because that went viral. And it went totally viral. Like, was it a buzz amongst Team USA as well?
Definitely people were taking them. And after the Norwegian guy started making TikToks about it,
yes,
other people did. And then there's also like a cookie in there. And they were making fresh bread every day. And like croissants and stuff. It was pretty cool.
I love this new generation of Olympians, though, that are having so much fun on social media. It's been incredible to follow his journey.
It is fun because it lets us in a little closer than maybe athletes in other games have been comfortable with. And I think that just obviously makes you more relatable and, you know, makes us want to cheer you on even more. I'm curious, having never held a record for anything that I'm proud of, when you've broken a world record, does that moment sink in with you that nobody ever in the history of whatever you're doing has ever done and achieved what I've just done? Does that dawn on you?
Definitely not. I think it also works its way up. I've done American records, and you start at the youth level, and you go up. And so it's kind of like just the next step of next thing to happen, next weight to lift happens to be a world record of some sort. I don't think it really sets in because it's like everybody has their personal best, their PR. And for my PR to be defined as a record is weird because it's my PR. What?
Right.
Yes.
And then are you looking forward to, well, what's the next weight I can get to? And so it's not about the record. It's really about besting your own personal gains, right?
Definitely. I mean, because I hold junior world records. The senior world records are my next goal. That's a 122 kilo snatch and a 155 kilo clean and jerk. That's my next weightlifting goal before, I guess, the next Olympics or so.
Wow.
Is there a point where during workouts and rehearsals and practices and whatever, right? Is there a point where you do those things and you, air quotes, waste them? Not really waste them, but you know what I'm saying? Like, is there,
like do those weights?
Really bad story. Okay. When I was bowling in college, shut up, Bradford. When I was bowling in college, I bowled my best game I rolled a 267. I'd never come close to that before or after. I did it in practice. So it's kind of like I wasted it, right? So again, it's not exactly the same.
Yeah.
But is there?
I see what you're saying.
I knew you were gonna say. But is there a chance where where you do things like this, you make the record, but there's no real official notation?
Definitely. I mean, you go heavy in training. Your goal is to get as close to that as possible. Mm-hmm. For me, some people, their training best and their competition best are different.
Oh, okay.
It depends on the day of when you compete and train. So, like, my competition best clean and jerk is 151. My best training clean and jerk is 150. For some people, there's more discrepancy there. For me, it's pretty close.
That's pretty consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I watch you lift, unlike a lot of other athletes from around the world, and I totally get it, I mean, they're so focused and intense, it almost seems like, it almost seems painful before they've even done it. Where you're doing these amazing things, you're winning medals, but there is an Olivia Reeves joy on your face that I don't see with other athletes in your sport. Are you a normally joyous person?
I would say, yeah. I think on the platform, it's just, I don't know, I get really nervous public speaking or doing anything like that. But on the platform, I'm not so nervous because I'm confident in my ability to let the subconscious go and just lift, because that's what I do. That's what I can do. And that's what the platform allows me to do. I feel nervous, but just in my ability to make a weight, and I know I can do that. I tell myself I
Right.
can do it, and then I do, and that's just kind of how it works.
That's really neat.
So we see now, just with new generation of Olympians, young Olympians being willing to share their journeys, do an incredible job with that on Instagram as well too. We're seeing, especially with these Olympics, because Tokyo was just a little different in terms of not having the crowds or things like that. But we see now winning the first gold medal in this event in 24 years for the United States, inspiring new people. We see that through every sport, and especially given how the USA women made so many incredible feats in these Olympics. What do you see as the future growth of your sport? And especially for young women out there, if there's anything to advise them on or to just continue to inspire them, what kind of message can you provide to them? Because so many people now are bringing attention to your sport.
Of course, I think that records are made to be broken. As soon as I set them, somebody else wants to beat them. And that's what I hope. I inspire people to do that as well. I don't want people to just look at it and think, I can never do that. No, I think you probably could. And the reason I'm setting it is so somebody else can do better. And I hope to inspire that. When I received my gold medal and talked to Jordan Dela Cruz, one of my teammates, she told me that it wasn't just a win for Team USA, but all of women's weightlifting won that day. And that made me a little emotional when she told me that it was like she wanted me to be the person that this happened to. And she went to Tokyo, didn't have a great experience. She came to the games again and went through that. And to hear those words from her, inspiring to me. And I hope that someday I can do that to somebody else.
Oh, you're going to. You're
Yeah. How does praise from your fellow athletes compare to the praise that you get from, people who may not have, followed the sport until the Olympic Games came around and, the worldwide attention that they get?
I would say it means a little bit more coming from them. For the time we were training together, they saw the bad days, the good days. They know the sport. So, it's awesome to have people come up and say congratulations, but to have somebody who is in the same boat for the entire time say that, it means more coming from a peer than it does from somebody, from a fan in a way.
Yeah, they've been through the trenches with you. Yeah.
The gold medal moment, when you realize that you've won, whatever moment that is for you, excuse me, how does that compare to standing on a podium and hearing the anthem play for you? Because I would think that the sports gives you such an interesting, not bowling. Sports gives you such an interesting.
There's nothing wrong with bowling.
I know. I just knew you were going to.
Is bowling in the Olympics? Didn't think so.
But there's still nothing wrong with bowling.
No.
I don't want people to come. Pete Weber, please don't come after me.
No, he is. No. So sports gives you an interesting thing that life still doesn't give you, right? When you get married one time. It isn't the honeymoon and things like that, but it's one thing. When you have a kid, same thing, right? So, sports gives you the championship moment, the moment that you actually realize that you've won. And then it also, in the Olympics especially, gives you that gold medal moment of now I get to hear my anthems. It's a different feeling. They're cousins, I would imagine, but it's a different feeling. So what are those two like? What happened for you?
What's funny is I actually saw Lee Kiefer, the fencer, and she talked about your competition at the Olympics is essentially like getting married. I've never been married or gone through that, but you do it, you went through it, and you only know it actually happened because of pictures and videos. That's it. You don't really, it's kind of a blur. A lot is happening. It's fun. You're having a great time. But then at the end of the day, you're like, whoa, that day went by really fast. And that's kind of how I would describe it, I guess. But getting up there and not only hearing the national anthem, but when Tara Knott won it in 2000, she actually got silver. Gold was a Bulgarian lifter who later tested positive for steroids. So she didn't actually get to hear the national anthem. So it's been 64 years since the national anthem was played on the podium for weightlifting.
Wow.
And I don't really know those facts in the moment. I'm not thinking about that pre-competition.
Right.
But to hear that now and reflect on that, it just makes the moment mean so much more.
That's amazing.
Have you gone back and watched those moments? What's that like?
And watched my competition, and it's funny because I can see how nervous. I'm nervous and I feel it, but I can see how nervous I look in the back room and on the platform. And if anything, it makes me wish I made that 150 clean and jerk.
A true competitor is always your worst critic, right?
Yeah, I've made a 150 before, and gosh dang it, I could have made it that day.
So now you're coming back to life. here in Chattanooga at UTC. What's that experience just been like for you at UTC coming back home, but also knowing you're finishing up your studies as well, coming back to that quote unquote real world
Normal.
after all of this and everything too?
Not gonna lie, it's a little scary, a little overwhelming to go on campus. And like today, I sat in the library like by myself doing homework, and somebody comes up and is like, "Are you the gold medalist?" Yes, I am. Can I get a picture? Sure. Okay, bye. And like that's so it's a little weird because people recognize you, then have as many people who say congrats, like no, but then like look away, and it's like, am I being awkward in this situation? Nope, everybody else is awkward. It's not me.
Yeah.
So it's a little different, but it's exciting. I love bringing awareness to the sport and all that.
That's awesome.
It's now time on the Untitled Film Project Podcast when we ask the big question.
What is your go-to movie when you travel? Okay, you had a long flight, obviously, to Paris at some point. I'm sure you travel for other things and other competitions and things like that.
Riyadh,
Yeah,
all over the world.
yeah. We all travel quite a bit to a degree in our jobs, and then of course you with the Olympics. So that is the big question in this episode: is what is your go-to movie? And I will skew this by saying that if you don't have a specific movie, but you have a genre, I will allow that.
Wow.
Okay.
Great. Okay, great.
She's ready.
Okay.
Interstellar.
All right, Bradford, go ahead and take it.
I'm seeing Hans Zimmer later September when he's in Atlanta.
We should just go and let them
All right.
talk his.
I love
Hans Zimmer live is
I hope
it's
I cry.
incredible. I am the movie score geek
Here we
on this
go.
show. So is Interstellar your favorite movie score then, would you say?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like. He's also like in other things, but it's like other composers. So I
yeah.
like certain songs from other ones, but yeah.
And you know it's getting re-released, right?
Yes, like the movie and the
Yes.
IMAX. Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Jim has never seen it in
Not in the theater.
On the theater.
I will
saw
see
it
it
at
on the
home.
screen for the first time, a big screen, and I'm going to be a little emotional, I think, because on a TV in my house, it wrecks me.
Yes.
The score, the story, the impact that movie has.
But on IMAX when it does this on the screen.
Yeah, I'm going to be a puddle because it's just going to be overwhelming.
This is the best answer. We're done.
Bradford's finished.
Yeah,
Oh, it's an incredible answer.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And 3 hours will knock off a part of your flight, right?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you spend when you travel? On a flight like that? Do you spend a lot of time watching movies, or do you do other things? Or
Yeah, usually I'll just find movies where it's like, I would never watch this. I'm going to watch it now.
might as well.
I have time
Sure.
to kill where I don't have access to anything else. I think I'll watch it now. Or
Okay.
movies I'll like half watch and be like, I never finished that. I try not to watch shows. Sometimes I watched Yellowstone actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I did Yellowstone. I love Yellowstone.
Okay.
Great. But I'm usually a movie person. I don't like to listen to the music or anything that they have on the airplane.
Yeah.
yeah.
The choice is not so great.
Bradford, why don't you go ahead and give us your answer?
My answer is
Unless it's Interstellar, of course.
Well, no. That is a great one. I
is a
usually,
great
I usually
answer.
do like to watch it at home because I love the sound, like the sound editing
But,
for
like,
it's just incredible.
in your ears.
In your ears, I know.
It's taking off.
So I cannot
Yes.
wait for the re-release of it and there's just so many fan theories now of all the different things of Interstellar and stuff. Like you can deep dive and go into so many rabbit holes or wormholes on Interstellar and just what people think about it,
Yes.
and everything could be right. Like there's so many things that are not wrong answers because it's meant to be for free thought, just like so many other movies out there like that. But anyways, my honorable mention is Coco. Sometimes when I'm traveling, I feel like crying.
Okay, yeah.
And
Okay.
Okay.
That's
I
what
travel-
Interstellar does.
yeah,
All right.
It gets you emotional just in different ways. Like
Yeah.
it reminds me of my grandmother in different ways and everything too.
right.
Granted, I'm not of Latin American descent. I'm Filipino. We're cousins. So totally,
You're adjacent. Yes.
yeah, it fits. But my big one, for some odd reason, I love watching Ready Player One when I fly. I have no idea
Really?
why.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's just entertaining for me. I don't know why, but I just, I'll put it on.
I will say my second pick to Interstellar would be Despicable Me.
Okay.
All right.
And then
That movie.
I mean,
we were listening to the soundtrack on the way here.
Yeah.
Because Pharrell came up. I was like, that's an earworm right there.
Yes, that movie. Yeah. it's
Were
my
you in the car with us?
That's two things you
it's
brought
kind of scary how we're
No.
lining up. Yeah.
up. Jim, what's yours?
I got to say, this is going to make you laugh, but it's only because when traveling with my kids at a certain age, this was one that we would throw on the portable DVD player or watch it on the Disney Channel. So High School Musical is that like comfort travel movie.
I love that movie.
Yeah. That's great.
High School 1, 2, and 3 have it all on DVD.
Yeah. As do I. And, I saw the third one in the theatrical release. I haven't seen Interstellar, but I've seen High School Musical 3.
I will continue to stand by Zac Efron is an underrated actor.
No question.
He deserves so much more from his performances of late. He has way more range than people give him credit for.
All right, well, my answer pales in comparison to everybody else's.
Old Yeller?
I love no. Kingpin act.
Oh, okay.
I love a good documentary, and so I always watch Michael Jackson's Bad 25. Always. It's the 25th anniversary.
Curious choice.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
It's a deep dive on all the music from the album Bad, of course, but obviously they're all
Was not expecting
they're all bangers. So it's just easy. I have music in my ears, but I'm not listening to music. I'm actually watching something.
Also, Gopher hates flying.
I do.
So I think that might be a reason why a documentary, because it can take him into a different zone.
It can, and nothing bad has happened on a plane while watching that movie.
Yes.
So therefore, it's a comfort blanket.
Hey, well, I watched Society of the Snow on a plane one time.
Well, that's a choice.
All right, I'll finish it.
Okay.
You are brave.
Well,
oh my.
let's have a little more fun here. Obviously, with your career already, and there's still plenty more to go in your career, you've achieved so much. But thinking now, and don't be too humble, if you were going to have an actor play you in a movie to tell your story, who would you like it to be?
I'm going to be honest, I'm not good with names at all.
Okay.
That's all right.
You can give us all the clues.
I'll give you my favorite athlete who's / influencer.
Okay.
Ilona Mar.
Oh.
Okay. Tell me, I need to be educated here.
Ilona Mar is?
I don't. I would like
Jim.
to.
Oh my
Tell me.
Jim.
There's a certain part of the audience that is just plain dumb as a rock.
Oh.
As me.
Sorry.
Oh, wow.
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
She's a rugby player.
Okay.
And is just the pinnacle of women's sports.
She's
and
incredible.
All that we aspire to be as women in sports is what she is.
Excellent.
And she's amazing. And I met her at the Olympics.
Oh, you did?
I got a picture with her.
Were you that awkward person that comes up to you in the library and was like, "Can I get a picture?" See,
Except she was like outside and it was
She's
like,
so
no big
cool.
deal.
She's just so cool, though.
Yeah, she is.
She's so cool. Like,
Good answer.
Jim, when you watch the highlights, she could go from trucking someone over, and then you see later where she's like full on glam, and it's amazing. Like she's incredible. She's a great representative, not just sports, but of people in general, and what we should aspire to be like as a person.
And from what you're telling me, she can't be pinned down into like a category or anything. So
she should host SNL. She has the wit.
Yes.
Her wit is so quick. She's got such a great sense of humor. People are wanting her to host SNL. She's that good.
excellent.
you're welcome, Lorne Michaels.
We expect a check if you follow through on it.
I love that. I love that answer so much. She's incredible.
That's great. Olivia Reeves, gold medalist, and just all around joyous person, and really somebody who I think you've been the most fun guest we've had.
We had a few.
In Interstellar, I mean, best answer ever.
All right.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much for joining us on the Untitled Film Project Podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for listening to the Untitled Film Project Podcast. To support the show, please rate, review, follow, and subscribe. Original music by Jeremy Schwartz. Special thanks to the Music City Film Critics Association. Editing and post-production by Jeremy K. Gover. Voiceover by Chad Bennett.